So I'm Andy, and this is Pam. Where's Pam? Hi, Pam. We're from the Kittery Rotary Club, and we're very happy to be here with you today in the Exeter Rotary Club at the home of Bert Dibble and May Bradshaw in Exeter, New Hampshire, USA. We're about 100 kilometers or 90 kilometers north of Boston. So Rotary has gone through another year. The Rotary year starts every July 1st, and so the Rotary wheel has gone all the way around the sun one time. And if you were really paying attention, you notice that the Rotary wheel actually made one revolution in that time, and it's back upright again the way it should be. It's okay to laugh. So the way this works is you go to your happy place for 20 minutes, I talk a little bit about Rotary and connections and connecting. I sow some seeds for the future, for thinking outside the box and being creative. And I do a little Rotary Foundation rah-rah cheerleader speech at the end. I click my fingers 2 times. You wake up with total clarity and absolutely no recall about what I talked about. So our new Rotary International President is Mark Maloney. Mark and his wife Gay are from Alabama. And their Rotary theme for this year is Rotary Connects the World. And it's a very apropos theme, I think. And so I might just take a few minutes and chat about how Rotary has impacted Pam and my connecting with the world. Pam and I really love Rotary because through Rotary, we have connected with and met people that we otherwise would not have met. We have had experiences that we otherwise would not have had. In 2013, we had the good fortune to go on a district trip to Guatemala. And this was an earth-shaking event in our lives. It was very, very grounding, very sobering. This reset our value structure. This was a literacy and education themed trip led by Carolyn Johnson. And we were primarily in Guatemala to inspect schools. So Guatemala is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And we found ourselves in the rural highlands in little villages. And close your eyes and let me paint you a picture of a rural village in Guatemala. It's volcano country. It's stunningly beautiful. Every direction you look is like a calendar picture. But it's totally different economically than the way we are here. We're in a village this morning that we access by traveling 5 miles down just 2 wheel tracks. The villagers live in 10 by 10 huts constructed out of rusty corrugated steel roofing. Dirt floor inside. No electric power. No running water. They do their laundry in the river. No postal service. No big box grocery store. It's a very, very humble way of life. But right in the middle of the village, on a small rise, a small hill, there's a humble 2-room school. And we step inside that school, and it's dark. Because remember, no power. So we're inside the school, and the children are on the floor because there's no furniture for the children. And they're sharing textbooks and school supplies because there's not enough to go around. It's not education by our standards. In front of this school, this humble school, there's a small building. It's not in back, it's in front. It's a bathroom building. And there's a boys' and men's bathroom and a girls' and women's bathroom in the other end. And on the outside of this building, there are hose spigots with running water. This is the only running water in this village. This bathroom's very important to this village. Remember, it's not in back behind the school, it's in front. On the front wall of this bathroom, it's a great big Rotary wheel. This bathroom was funded by a North American Rotary Club. And it wasn't really a big stretch for the North American Rotary Club to fund this bathroom because the US dollar goes far in the developing world. This bathroom has a huge effect on this community, positive effect. First of all, it's their source of running water. But secondly, in Guatemala, it's not mandatory that children go to school. And girls tend to not go to school if they can't go to the bathroom, if there's no bathroom there. So what this bathroom does for the girls in this community short-term, medium-term, long-term effect is incredibly positive, because now they will go to school. And now they have a chance that they might be able to break out of this cycle of poverty and do something other than just work in the fields. A Rotary Club did that. And it wasn't a big stretch for them to do that. And it made a huge impact on that village. In 2016, we had the opportunity to go to Cuba on your club's trip to Cuba with Tressa and Bert, Jim, Mark, Rachel, and we delivered medical supplies and we installed water purification systems in Cuba. In and out to Cuba through Havana, which is how you go in and out of Cuba. But then we were back once again in rural villages in Cuba, 90 to 150 miles in from Havana. Villages so poor that the primary means of transport was the horse and carriage, not the 1957 Chevy. The 1957 Chevys are in Havana. You see them in the photos, but they're not actually out there in the villages. The horse and the carriage, unless you couldn't afford a carriage, and then it's the horse. Unless you couldn't afford the horse, and then you didn't have any means of transportation. Again, no big box grocery stores. Government stores with very, very minimal supplies. People surviving because they're either stealing food or they're buying food on the black market, which is stolen food in itself. It just means somebody else stole it for you. A very hard, tough existence. Very different social, economic situation than what we have here. But there are some similarities between there and here. If you were outside of school and you close your eyes at recess time, you couldn't tell if you were in Guatemala or Cuba or Exeter. The sound is the same. The sound of children playing and running and yelling and laughing, it's the same sound. We watched children playing soccer with an empty plastic water bottle because they didn't have a soccer ball at recess. And they were just as happy as our children are here at recess time playing in a fully equipped playground. Just amazing, the similarities. When we would chat with parents and say, what's your situation? What do you see? What do you need? They would respond with, we hope for a better world for our children. Exactly the same dream that we have for our children here. So different, yet so alike. Rotary can have a big influence in situations like this. Connecting. Pam and I in June were able to attend the International Convention in Hamburg. Bert and May were there as well, where we connected with 26,000 of our closest Rotary friends. Rotarians from 170 different countries from around the world. Different cultures, different languages, different dress, but all sharing the same love for helping those who are less fortunate, those who have need. Rotary. Our next big opportunity to connect internationally with Rotary, our next international convention is where? Who knows? Honolulu. We're all going together, right?
We're going.
We're going to rent a bus, right?
Maryland's going too.
So early June in Hawaii. Hope to see you all there. We'll be there. It'll be a wonderful time. Another bake sale. Club could pay for it. Plenty of hotel rooms in Honolulu. Let me just give you a word of caution. The convention center has a limit of 25,000 people. This convention will sell out. 13,000 people registered the first 3 days registration opened. If you intend to go and join us in Honolulu, I suggest you register sooner rather than later, and you can get information on that by just Googling Rotary International Convention. It's not necessary that you book a Rotary contracted hotel. You're welcome to stay in your own hotel room, might save you some money, Airbnb, under a palm tree on the beach, park bench, whatever works for you. There are other ways to attend Rotary conventions and save some money. Our focus in District 7780 for this coming year is to grow Rotary, ! And by grow Rotary, I mean increasing the public awareness of the goodness that we do. Increasing the size of this Rotary footprint of goodness that we have in our communities and in our world. Trying to involve more potential Rotarians in our activities. Pam's a longtime Rotarian. Pam's been a Rotary 30 years. I'm not. I'm relatively new. But I got dragged to all those Kittery fundraisers, community service projects, district events. I was Pam's Rotary slave for decades. Rotary spouse for decades. So don't overlook spouses, friends, neighbors, and coworkers. They're all potential Rotarians. I mentioned earlier thinking outside the box and being creative. A few years ago, Rotary relaxed the attendance requirement. And then at our club, we relaxed the enforcement of the relaxed attendance requirement. Thank you. And my job situation prior to that precluded my being a Rotarian because I could not attend conventional meetings. So when Rotary became more creative, started to think outside the box as far as attendance went, then I was able to join Rotary and become a full-fledged dues-paying member. And that's the reason that I'm standing here today. So I urge you, as different things come up, to try to keep an open mind about different ways that non-Rotarians can participate in our Rotary activities, whether that be through timing of meetings, timing of events. I think you're doing a social now. First Monday, so that's good. Some food for thought. If this were to represent all the potential Rotarians in your Rotary sphere of influence in the greater Exeter area, and we were to consider that some of them might not be available on Mondays, the pool is smaller. And if we were to consider that some of your potential members could make Monday, but they can't necessarily make lunch, the pool of potential Rotarians shrinks. And if we were to think, well, maybe they could come on Monday and they could come to lunch, but the Exeter Inn is just maybe a little bit out of their budget if they're going to come to 50 meetings a year, the pool of potential Rotarians shrinks even farther. So what I'm suggesting to you is that your model of Rotary, while it works very, very well for you and you're a very successful Rotary club, there's quite a few people out there that also are potential Rotarians. They just don't fit your model of Rotary. So please keep an open mind about other ways that we can help them to participate. We have a new Rotary Club in our district. It chartered in June. It's our 41st Rotary Club, and it's called New Voices. We have RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. It's a self-confidence leadership team building exercise. Select high school sophomores get to attend RYLA. And some of those RYLA attendees later become RYLA counselors, and those RYLA counselors later become RYLA counselor alumni. Phil Giordano and Sam Klamarzik, who are our RYLA team leaders, collected together 33 of these RYLA counselor alumni and formed a new Rotary Club in June. The interesting thing is they're geographically dispersed all over the United States, and 2 of them live in Europe. They will only meet together physically 4 times a year. The rest of the time, they'll meet virtually. They'll jump in with whatever Rotary Club is near them for service projects. Very, very outside the box, very cutting edge for Rotary to be doing that. Very different from the model of meetings that you have in Exeter and Pam and I have in Kittery. Just another example of people being creative and thinking outside the box. We're very excited about our non-typical, think outside the box, did I say that? Non-typical district conference. This year, our district conference is a 1-day district conference, the first Saturday in October, October 5th. It's in Portland. It's a day tripper event, 9 to 4, no expensive hotel room involved. Pam and I looked at our calendar from January through July and said, oh my gosh, it's full of stuff. It's full of Rotary stuff. It's full of family stuff. It's full of graduations and weddings. Let's take this typical May, June district conference and move it to October, which to us looks like a much quieter, saner time. So we're hoping that we'll see you all there in Portland on the first Saturday in October, and Pam's going to hand out some save the date postcards for your refrigerator, and next week she'll be knocking on your door checking to see if they're still on your refrigerator. We're asking every Rotary Club to have a display table at this event and display your service projects, fundraisers, grant projects, whatever rows your boat, and share that information with the other Rotary Clubs. We'll be connecting with other Rotarians there at that event and seeing what it works well for them. Keynote speaker at this event is Rotary International Jeffrey Carteret. Jeffrey is Alaska, all of Canada, and northeastern United States. He's a very inspiring, high energy, motivating speaker. We've all sat through a lot of boring speeches in our lives. I'm hoping this one today isn't one of them. But Jeffrey is the opposite of that. He is the Energizer Bunny of Rotary. He's in charge of a committee that is working to find more creative ways that potential Rotarians can participate in Rotary in North America. You're a wonderful Rotary Club. You're wonderful Rotarians, and you do a lot. You probably don't get thanked enough for all the good that you do. So Pam and I are here today to say thank you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But we're also here to ask, could you possibly do a little more? We are so blessed where we live here in this part of the world. We all have a home in which we live. We have a bed in which we sleep in at night. We have running water, cold and hot. We have big box grocery stores. We have a mail system that works pretty well. We have medical care, some of the best in the world. People are making faces at me in the back. We are wealthy beyond the wildest dreams of many others in our world. When you make that donation to our Rotary Foundation, could you possibly make it for just a little bit more? When you do a Rotary project, could you possibly involve a few more potential Rotarians to try to leverage or multiply the good work that you're doing, increase the size of this Rotary footprint of goodness that you have in your community and in the world? Would you consider adding our Rotary Foundation to your estate planning and donate some of your children's money? By the time they figure that out, it's too late. You've moved on. When you make your donation to Polio Plus, would you consider just a little bit more? Because you know, we're this close to closing the book on polio. We've almost got it. 350,000 cases a year to 33 cases last year. 2 countries left. Almost there. We can't finish. We can't stop. We must finish. The Bill and Melinda Gates 2-to-1 match is on for another year. So every dollar that we donate is $3. We got some situations going on in Afghanistan and Pakistan. The political situation in those 2 countries is such that it's very difficult to get the vaccine out to the villages where we need it. We are working hard to get that vaccine out to where we need it. We're almost done. We must finish. We will finish. Thank you very much for all the good that you do. Thank you for being good Rotarians. Please keep on connecting, keep on doing good. Most importantly, keep on having fun. Now you wake up. Now it's time to wake up. Thank you.